Hi, Meg here again. Welcome to our channel. I love reminding you that this is our channel because it was created, or it is always created with you in mind. In my last video, Steps Towards Healing, step number 4 was cutting all forms of communication. I mentioned that I want to talk on that step in details, commonly known as no contact. What basically this means is cutting, just as it says, cutting back any communication which is all social media, that is includes Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, name it, WhatsApp, emails, phone calls, text messaging, and friends. Yeah, it's so unfortunate that we sometimes have to choose to cut off some of the friends, especially the common friends, because they will keep you connected. They will keep relaying the information, and that is what you're trying to keep away from. You do not want to know what they are doing, what is happening in their life, and they should not know what is going on with you either. Even though as an empath, due to the trauma bond, you miss them. Even if you leave them, you miss them so bad. You sometimes long for that phone call or a message. Yeah, that is caused by trauma bond. And I will talk about trauma bond in a different video to explain in details. And actually, this is the best step that helps you to disconnect from that bonding. So if you practice this and keep going, because I'm not gonna lie to you, it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be hard. What you're gonna do, you're gonna try, you're gonna fail, hit that reset button, start over, and keep going. And before you know it, down the line, 6, 7, 8 months, you will look back and be so proud of what you did to yourself. You will also feel the effect, because you will start healing. The anger will go away. You will be able to forgive. You will not long for seeing them or knowing what they're doing. Yes, it will do you a lot of good. You will have to make a decision of doing that. If you are co-parenting, it's a little bit tricky. With no co-parenting, you just disconnect everything and block, not only disconnect. You don't want to know nothing about them. It's going to be hard. But if you're co-parenting, you have to have at least one form of communication. My suggestion is just only one form of communication that will work for you. And depending with your situation and circumstance, you will decide on the best one. I did not have the full understanding, because I thought if I don't talk to them, I am good. I learned it the hard way, because a conversation or a communication will start very well, but before you know it, there's taunting, there's sarcasm, your buttons are pushed, you get angry. Before you know it, the whole communication goes south. You're left angry and frustrated. You just give supply. So every time, even if you're co-parenting, don't look that message as just a communication. Try to read in between the lines. Majority of the time, they will communicate with an intention of getting some kind of supply, especially if they valued you as a good supply. And you will know if they valued you as a good supply if they keep trying and trying. Also, entertaining them will make them keep trying. In a minute, we'll discuss on how to get them bored, to be boring to them, even with one form of communication. So after the messaging worked bad for me, I decided to go with emails. Reasons why I chose emails are several. One, emails are easy to organize. You can create a folder and save all the emails related to the issue. If your device gets damaged, you can still retrieve your messages, or rather you can retrieve your email from any other device. And last one is emails are acceptable in courts. You never know what to expect. Okay, you have to be ready for anything. You might find yourself in the court. You will try to remember what happened or to explain. Nobody will believe you without any kind of proof or something to show exactly what happened, especially in written. Yeah, so messages, some of the courts does not accept messages. So yeah, that is why I went with the email. They never give up though. They will keep trying to bait you once in a while, but they will give you a break. You will have time to allow yourself to heal. The first step is setting your pace, or rather setting your boundary. Send a very detailed email explaining, communicating through email. Anything regarding children strictly, nothing more. If an email is not anything regarding or pertaining the children, I will not respond. The email should be respectful, no sarcasm, taunting, and all that. If any of that happens in an email, I will not respond. So once you set a boundary, they will always try to push it. They don't do well with boundaries. What you do is you have to stand strong with your consequences. Whatever you say you will do, if the boundaries are broken, follow through. The reason why we found ourselves in such a big mess we never had consequences on our boundaries, and that is why they ran over all the boundaries we had. They will still think you're that person. If you know how to set a boundary and consequence and follow through, they have no choice but to follow. Take your time before responding to any message. Now, I don't know if that happens to you, but every time, especially right after I left the marriage, every time I saw a message, just receiving it, I got this kind of rush, and I don't want to say I panicked. I kind of get into a defensive mode, a fighting mode. This is because the emotions are all over. 1 minute they're very high, and then before you know it, they are crushed. There's a lot of push and pull. For that reason, you're constantly on the edge. So you are used to defending yourself and explaining. So that became your second nature. So the minute you see the message, even before knowing what the message is saying, you are ready to defend yourself. You don't even know if it is an accusation. So let this message say, don't even open it in case you feel that rush. But if you don't, I would open it and read it. Don't respond immediately. Give yourself time again, read it. I would always give myself up to 3 times. Make sure that I am reading it in a calm way. I'm not reading it in a defensive manner, or I'm not reading it like it's a fight. Once I read, I respond in an extremely professional manner. You know the way you will write a formal letter? Or Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so? Yes, that is how you do. Do not hit that send button yet. Treat it just as you treated the message when it came in. This will give you time to add anything that you will think about later, or remove anything that you think you reacted instead of responding. Make sure you are responding in that message and there's no reaction whatsoever. After that, when you're comfortable and you're not in kind of a rush, because there's always this thing of feeling like you're being pushed. Comment below if you felt like that. So once you're comfortable, this is the message you want them to read, hit the send message. So if you master these steps, it's not going to happen quick, so don't feel bad. But once you master these steps, you end up becoming so boring because there's no supply in your messages. And as much as they try to poke your buttons, they are not getting you worked out. They are not getting you triggered. So you become so boring. Because in a narcissist world, anger, fight, frustration, control, chaos is extremely exciting. This is like sweet aroma in their heart. They get kind of pleasure, kind of high in that kind of environment. And that is why when everything is peaceful, a narcissist will always look for trouble. They are low on the high. They want to get that high, and they know how to get it by poking your buttons. So they will stop bothering you. Those messages will slow down. If you choose to go with the phone calls, you will have to practice the gray rock method. I will talk about the gray rock, explain what gray rock method is. So if you happen to still communicate on phone call, or even I can't say it's no contact because you're contacting them anyway. So, but this does not mean that they're gonna give up on you entirely. They will try to bait you occasionally to see if they can get that supply. So even when you get it under control, never relax. Keep in your mind and remember they will always try to bait you, and never fall for that. So that's all I have for today. And this message is for educational and personal empowerment only. I am not a therapist or a clinician. This recording is not intended to substitute any medical or legal advice, and is not for treatment or diagnosis. If you find this information helpful, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.